Hi, this is Cheryl, and welcome to my stamping classroom. Today we're going to be making this really cute birthday card. This is a card I made for my 4-year-old granddaughter, and I just thought it was so cute that I wanted to share it with other people on how to make it. It's very easy to make. You open it up and it says, "It's time to celebrate, kick up your heels." And I also did an envelope to match. So let's get started. Some of the items that you will need, the supplies, obviously you'll need the Zany Zebra stamp set, and we're doing a lot of stamping. We're going to use all the stamps other than those 3 stamps. You will also need layering circle dies and using the largest scallop, and also the stitch shape dies and the largest circle. You will also need this Magenta Madness 1/4 inch ribbon. This is one of the new in colors for 2020-2022. And you will also need these pretty little sequins, and those are called Artistry Bloom sequins. Now I used a different type of sequence on my card, but these were in the last year's catalog and they did not carry forward. But these sequins are just match perfectly with the paper. And they're also self-adhesive, so that makes them extra special. You will also need the classic label punch and some stamping blends. The supplies you'll need for paper will include this Magenta Madness as your card base, and it's cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. You will also need a Whisper White piece of paper cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. You'll need a scrap of Whisper White, and you need quite a bit of paper for this, so I would suggest a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper. You will also need a 4 by 4 piece of Magenta Madness to cut out the scallop, and then you will also need this Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then obviously you will need the envelope. So let's get stamping. We're going to stamp the envelope, the outside and the inside of the card. But let's start with the inside of the card. The stamps that you will need for the inside of the card are this cute little zebra that looks like he's kicking up his heels. You will also need 2 sentiments from the stamp set. One says, "Let's celebrate," and "It's time to kick up your heels." I'm using tuxedo black ink, and again the stamp is rather big, so I'm laying it on its back and stamping it with a stamp pad. I put him at a little bit of an angle so it looked like he was kicking his feet up. Next, I will stamp the other sentiment. Let's kick up our heels. And then it's time to celebrate. I just thought that was such a cute sentiment. Now to ground the poor little zebra, I'm using Smoky Slate Stamping Blend and just putting a little shadow under his front legs. Next, we're going to stamp the envelope. And this time I'm using a different zebra, one that's just kind of standing there, and the other one that says "Wild About You." So again, I'm inking it up with tuxedo black ink, Memento, and stamping it in the lower left-hand corner. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment right underneath his feet. Okay, now we're going to stamp the rest of the card, which is the front. So We're going to use this little zebra that's kind of looking over his shoulders, the little party hat, and the sentiment that says happy birthday. I'm stamping the happy birthday at the bottom of the paper, and I'm going to stamp the little hat over toward the side. Now this we will eventually color and cut out by hand. Okay, so I'm going to stamp or ink up the zebra, and I'm going to put him kind of in the, a little bit further away from the sides, because you have to keep space for the stitch circle, which is rather large. Okay, so our next step is to punch out the happy birthday sentiment using the classic label punch. Just line that up and punch it. And then I take the ends of the banner and stick it back in the punch at the end in order to flag the ends. This is a quick and easy way, an accurate way to flag your ends. Now if you'd like to do it by hand, please feel free, but I don't do that too well. Okay, so now what we're going to do with the little party hat is color it. I will be using Dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm using the bullet end of the stamping blend. These are alcohol markers. They go on very easily, and I'm just coloring a few of the little circles. Now I'm going to take Magenta Madness, the light Magenta Madness, again using the bullet end, and I'm coloring in between those polka dots. And that is all the coloring you need to do on that little hat. Of course, it is pretty little. So after we're done coloring it, we will cut it out by hand. And I know some of you don't care to do the fussy cutting, but it's pretty easy. It's just basically a triangle to cut out. Excuse me. And as you see, I'm moving the paper rather than the scissors. And all you do is just follow it around. I'm leaving about a 1/16 of an inch white space on the outside. Okay. Now, for the little zebra, again, I'm using the light smoky slate and putting a little shadow under his feet. I'm getting out the 4x4 Magenta Madness, and I'm going to be going to the big shot. I'm using the scallop circle on the Magenta Madness and the stitched circle on the zebra. I'm keeping him kind of toward the bottom of the circle because he's going to be wearing a hat. Okay, I have cut those out, and here they are. Now I need to put the hat on the zebra, but I think what I will do first is adhere the zebra image to the Magenta Madness scallop circle. Again, I'm using Tombow liquid glue because this gives me a little bit of what we like to call wiggle time to get it lined up accurately. I'm using a glue dot to put the hat on top of the zebra. Okay. Now I am ready to assemble the card. I'm bringing out the base. I've folded it in half, and I'm using my bone folder to reinforce the crease so that it stays closed. I'm adding this Designer Series paper right in the middle, and once again I am using Tombow liquid glue to adhere this to the front, just to make sure that I get it straight. Now I'm going to adhere the image of the zebra to the front, and I'm using 5 dimensionals, and that is going to go in the center, upper center. Next, I will put this ribbon on, and again the angle is from upper left to lower right. So I am going to put the ribbon in the upper left, and I've put 2 glue dots on there, and I'm just pressing the bow on there. I trim the ends of the bow after I get it attached. We're almost done with the card. Next, I'm going to be putting on the happy birthday, and I'm using the long edge of the dimensionals and putting that on the front, on the lower right of the circle. Now I'm going to be adding some of these really pretty artistry bloom sequins using various colors. And then as a final touch, I am using Wink of Stella on the hat. And I had forgotten to put a sequence on the pom-pom of the hat, so I need to go back and do that. And now I'm going to finish off the zebra by painting him completely with Wink of Stella. So there's your card. It's really cute and easy to make. Thank you for stopping by today, and I'll see you soon.